Hey everybody, Coach Craig with another Coach Craig's Corner. This week what I'm going to be covering is this area right behind me here. Which we all know as the dugout. So dugout management and dealing with your dugout properly can really do a lot for improving your team morale and discipline. This also covers how your team acts and how they react to things. So to start with, when you come into the dugout as the coach, you don't just start dumping things everywhere, throwing things around. You put things specifically in a certain spot every single time. You require that your players put things in a certain spot every time. If you want their bags under the bench, then they go under the bench. If you want them hung on the fence, then they go on the fence. When it comes to getting gear out, you assign it specifically to a player. This player does this player does that. Mix it up. It never goes to the same player each time. Obviously, you're looking for volunteers there, but that takes a while to get to the volunteer level. So, yeah, all of those things are keeping the dugout clean, keeping everything picked up, not having bottles and seed bags all over the place. All that stuff, it just gets in the way, and it gets in the way of dealing with your game. Not to mention that for me, pretty much every practice starts at the dugout and ends at the dugout. So how we act in and around the dugout really affects how the team plays and focuses on the game. Also, just another coverage here. This will be a really short video this week because honestly, this is not that complicated, but it's something a lot of people just overlook. Have them when your players are at bat. Everybody's on the fence cheering for who's hitting and who's running. When your players are in the field, everybody's on the fence cheering for whoever's in the field playing. On the fence cheering, we're not sitting down, we're not sitting around. That all comes from you as a coach. You have to encourage that behavior. You have to strongly encourage that behavior with any means necessary to get that type of attitude from your team, because without that attitude, you cannot win. If they are not uprooting for their players, for their teammates, then you cannot win. You cannot win like that. Also, how you act in the dugout. Again, this covers what we've covered before about talking to umpires, the way you talk to umpires, the way you talk to other coaches. No woe is me in the dugout. No, being just deliberately obstinate or aggressive toward, other coaches or other umpires, because your team is going to play the way you act. They follow your lead. I've heard lots of coaches over the years say things like, I just don't know why my team acts like that. Well, sure you do, because you act like that or they wouldn't do it too. So remember, they follow you. They follow your attitude. They follow your leadership. They follow your general way. Every coach has a way, and you'll see the teams play the way their coach acts and reacts. So dugout is very important. Don't overlook it. Treat it with respect. It's your home. It's your home while you're on the field. It's where you're going to celebrate when you win. It's where you're going to be sad when you lose. It's just a really important part of the game that a lot of people, again, overlook. So keep it clean. Keep it tidy. Keep everything literally in its place. And always, good God, always clean up after yourself when you're done. Always clean up the dugout when you're done. No coach wants to come behind you and clean up your trash. No team wants to come behind you and clean up your trash. So that's a really important thing. Make sure everybody's responsible for their gear and their equipment and their trash. Till next week. If you don't like it, play better.